YouTube. 1 second here. So if you haven't done any nurturing emails yet, the powering of nurturing is incredible. You've probably heard in sales, the fortune is in the follow-up. So I'm going to be taking you through some very specific nurturing sequences that you can do. So kind of the framework so you can have a more powerful and more predictable results with how you do nurturing. So I'm going to get this ready, share my screen here, and we will jump in. If you're taking notes anywhere, make sure to grab some notes here. So I'm going to give you some kind of specific things as we go through nurturing. Sorry if it's a little loud in here. I forgot my headphones today. All right, so we're going to be covering the 10 steps of lead nurturing. And so why is follow-up so important? So if you're generating leads or you have a past customer list, the follow-ups are important because it's going to guide your customer through the commitment phase of the relationship. It can be an email or text campaign, usually in a series of emails delivered regularly. And the point of the follow-up here is to close the deal and get that ultimate commitment from your customer. And just know a customer that gives you their email is a highly qualified lead. So if you're doing any lead generation from ads, whether that's Meta ads or Google ads, someone who gives you their email address, don't devalue or undervalue that, because that is someone that is showing a buying signal and showing interest. So the first thing that we want to do in the very first email is if they came to you for something, for example, if that person came to you to get something for free, like for example, a lead magnet, if they're there to download a PDF, to book an appointment, to get some information from you, the very first thing that they get from you should be 100% value. There's no selling in this email. It's just, thanks for being in my world. Here's the thing you asked for. And maybe you tease them with, I'm going to be giving you some more valuable information in the future. But the number one goal of that first email is not to sell, but to give value. The second email that you're going to want to send is called a problem solution email. So think about, what is the biggest problem that your product or your service solves? You're going to use this email to highlight the problem your customer is facing that is preventing them from getting what they want. You want to show empathy by resonating with their pain, and then you want to introduce your product or service and show how it very specifically solves this problem for your dream customer. The reason that your business exists and the reason that people pay you is to solve a problem. So you want to get extremely clear on the biggest problem that you solve for your dream customer. That should be email number 2 that gets sent out. Email number 3 is we're going to focus on a testimonial. This is a real customer story. So have a customer story that highlights first the problem they were facing before your solution and how it resolved their problem. Very simple. This is not about you. It is about the problem that your dream customer had and how your product, service, program overcame that problem. And then finally, the email should end in a call to action. So highlighting the specific success and having that very clear call to action. For example, start your success journey here, book an appointment, buy now, try it for free. Make it very clear what you want them to do next. Email number 4, the only job of this email is to overcome an objection. So think about all the common resistance objections that your customers will have. Typically, it's usually on either price, quality, or speed. And it's actually best to address these head on before they silently make up their mind without giving you an opportunity to break their false beliefs. So go ahead and get ahead of those questions and help overcome those objections. Don't be on the defense. You want to show empathy first before you bring out your "but I'm the expert" cards, right? So show very clearly how you overcome those objections. And then if you want to add a PS to the end of those emails, it can add some additional value to help further overcome that objection. So that is email number 4 you're going to send out. Email number 5 is what we call the paradigm shift email. Most of your dream customers that need your product or service have a mindset that is costing them from getting their desired results, something that is blocking them from doing that. So you need to reestablish the problem you're solving first, then talk about how some people falsely perceive the solution, then how yours is different or better. You don't want to bash the competition here. You just want to point out how your approach is better. The whole idea of this email is that you're shifting the way that they are thinking about your product or your service. Email number 6, this is where we get a little bit clearer into an actual sales letter. The goal of this email is you want to be able to close the deal and get their order. The hard truth is most sales don't happen because we don't clearly ask for the order. So here's a framework that you might write down or screenshot for this email is you want to highlight the problem, the struggle, a success story, an offer, and a call to action. Then what does success look like? And repeat the call to action and then have a PS. And the key here, guys, is don't be afraid to sell. It shows confidence in your product's ability to overcome their problem and positions you as the guide or the expert. So that is email number 6. Email number 7 is the solving a problem email. So you want to very clearly articulate again, what's the top problem you solve. So highlight a story that shows how you solve this problem for another customer. You want to quantify the results. The more specific you can be, the better. And you want to end with a question. For example, are you still interested in achieving similar results? Email number 8 is offer value. This is another email, guys, that we are doing no selling, no asking, or just giving value. So deliver 100% value in this email without asking for anything in return. You're not even asking them to click a link. This is problem and solution. It needs to be 100% in the body of this email and give your absolute best stuff. So don't go light here. Give away something extremely valuable. You want to leave them thinking, is this free? And if it is, imagine what they're going to get if they pay you. And then you can also leave them with kind of a cliffhanger style next step. So you might say, hey, I'm going to be giving you some additional emails with some additional content. So be on the lookout for those. Email 9 is reminding them you have a solution. To be unclear is to be unkind. So focus on your solution, keep it clear and simple. For example, we help X achieve Y through Z. And then again, make it very clear with their next step. And this time, make the next step extremely clear, like schedule your consultation, call us now, fill out the intake form, instead of connect with us, get in touch, or contact us. You want to be very, very clear on this. And then the final email for now is sending them back to your website. So this is kind of the breakup email. So for example, you could say, hey, I understand it looks like now's not the right time for you to solve this problem, but when you're ready, ... And then you send them back to your website where they can learn more. So make sure your website is ready and make sure too, you don't focus on how great your product or service is, focus on how great your dream customer is going to be after they use your product or your service. So in order to do this, I recommend creating a war room day. So plan out a day where you can actually get in the room, get all of these knocked out at once, write all of these emails. Then inside of Genie Rocket, you can actually create all these emails. You can put them in a sequence or in a workflow and make it where you just turn your audience onto them and go one day at a time. Or you can make a trigger to say, if someone fills out this form, then automatically start putting those emails in place. So by doing that, you are positioning yourself as the expert or the guide and your dream customer as the hero. You're showing that you have what it takes to solve their problem. You understand what their problem is, and you're proving it by showing how other people have solved that problem. And you're making it, again, very easy for them to get that help when they need it. So if you happen to miss any of this or you want the replay, this will be on YouTube under Genie Rocket. So go search for that, check under the live tab, and you can watch the replay. I'm cutting it a little bit short today. I'm on site with a client, but still wanted to give you guys some great value in today's coaching. So that is it for today.